first week of March, and what's been going on in the last month? Oh, the mighty West Ham, we won a game. Liverpool lost two. Yeah, Liverpool lost two games. The England ladies cricket team sadly got washed out. Rained in India, who'd have thought? And we didn't make through to the finals, which is very sad for the ladies involved. But let's be honest, everything really has been dominated by the spread of the coronavirus in the UK and throughout the world, in fact, and definitely around Europe. Obviously, we've seen QuickBooks Connect has been cancelled, World Book Thing has been cancelled, the rugby with Italy in Rome has been postponed. I don't know if they're going to be able to fit that in their schedules. And there's a lot of people who are having to self-quarantine for a couple of weeks. And if you're in that position and you're self-quarantined sitting at home, maybe this video will help. So let's keep our fingers crossed going forward. And for all of you who are sadly unwell with this, I hope your speedy recovery. The title of this month's video is Compliance Isn't Easy. We have so many people going on about compliance is dead and advisory is the future, all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's all a bit de rigueur, isn't it? But compliance work is definitely not easy, and it is a huge part of our work. And you have to get it right, don't you? It's as simple as that, and it is not easy. There's a couple of things coming up this month and next month that I'm just going to highlight and explain, which shows you just how difficult compliance work is. Let's start with our old friend MTD for VAT. Yes, MTD for VAT. You thought it was a dead issue, didn't you? Thought we'd all sorted it out, now haven't we? Well, of course, what's coming in from March for the bulk of all our MTD registered clients for VAT. There are some deferred for later in the year, but the bulk of it's coming in from the end of this March is no more permitted soft landing, i.e. no fine, no more permitted use of what we call cut and paste, isn't it? Within your spreadsheets and within your records. I think some call it copy and paste, but I think I tend to call it cut and paste. You can't do that. You can't do that. Because that's not a digital link anymore, is it? Now, the first thing comes to mind is, how will they know? I've absolutely no idea. I really have absolutely no idea. I don't know. Maybe some of you techie types can get in touch and tell me if they can work it out from what's actually submitted when the return goes in. I can't see it. No one's been able to tell me yet so far. And the best I've got is that they will pick it up if and when they come round and do a check on various systems, doing a check on your VAT returns, as it were, and see if you are cut and pasting, and that appears to be the only way they can find it out. So we don't know if they can spot it, but okay, so if they spot it, what's going to be the cost to us? What's the penalty? What's the fine? Because there's bound to be one, isn't it? There's bound to be one. So what is the penalty? What is the fine? Answer: don't know. They haven't told us. What can you do? I have absolutely no idea. This is the situation we're in with HMRC at the moment. They just don't think these things through, do they? They started off spreadsheets were never going to happen. Oh, no, we're getting rid of them. End of. Too many errors. Then they realised that, huge chunks of the world were using spreadsheets and were not going to expend loads of money to change them. So they backed off. So then they talk about, APIs and links and Lord knows what, and say, don't do it. But they don't tell you what happens if you don't do it. Seriously. If anything needed a root and branch look at, it's HMRC. But as I said, compliance isn't easy. A simple thing, well, it was a relatively simple thing, wasn't it, people, to fill in 9 boxes on a VAT return from your records or from your manual records even, or from your spreadsheet. Now it's become more complicated because someone says you can't cut and paste or copy and paste. You've got to have links and But if you don't do it, how do they know you haven't done it? And what's the fine if you haven't done it? Who knows? HMRC today. But compliance is not easy, is it? say, and I continue to say, compliance work is not easy, despite what people who are trying to sell you something that's going to help you do advisory work will tell you. But then again, they're not doing it, are they? So how would they know? But compliance work is not easy. And another major change we're going to be having is actually in the next few days. And what's that? Well, yeah, it's the budget. Now, every year we get this budget, and some years we have two, but every year we get this major budget, and what does it do? It nearly always creates huge amount of changes to the systems we're in, sometimes really detailed and involved. And what that means is we all of us accountants in practice, have to study it, have to work it out, have to think it through, have to plot and plan, have to think about if there's any major changes. You have to think about how that's going to impact on certain of your clients, certain types of your clients. If it's industry specific, you have to be thinking about all that, because you know what, within a few days, those clients are going to be on the phone saying, I've read this, Tony, what are we going to do? This is an aspect of compliance work that no one else is talking about. It's as if, we leave it to a computer program, it sorts it out. What abject nonsense. We have to spend so long thinking and planning about the changes that come through in the budget. It's an aspect of compliance work that we have gotten used to over the years, and that people who sell advisory don't actually understand, in my humble opinion. But just to help you out, as usual, the budget is the 11th this year. The ICPA will be getting our usual budget publication. It will be up on the website there for members, and we'll send you an email with a link on it so that you can access it. And it's always a good publication for you to keep your eye on and help you as part of this process. And it'd be really interesting. I mean, I know personally how long I spent digesting and reading, not just our own budget publication, but I usually tend to look about another two or three just to get three views on what's going on. And I feel certain that most of us out there are doing exactly the same. This is an aspect of compliance every year that generates significant amounts of work. And I think those who keep going on about compliance is dead ought to stop and take a moment to think about it. Compliance isn't easy, and part of compliance is keeping up to date, which has been the theme of what I've been talking about earlier on. And one way that we can do this is to actually take ourselves out of our normal working environment and go to exhibitions and go to conferences and see and listen to people that we respect and people who understand our profession, and learn from that and take that back to the office and fire up the team, etc. ICPA, we've got our practice evolution conferences. There's still early bird ticket available to the end of March for the London conference on the 25th of June. But I want to make a mention of our Practice Evolution conference in Manchester in October, 25th October. Look at the website, practiceevolution.co.uk. We've added the final two speakers. We've got a superb lineup. I'm going to just run through them. This is the speakers that we have in Manchester. So if you're in the Manchester area and you want to come along to a genuinely small practice specific conference, this is the one for you, people. So come on, let's see, come out there, get yourself, at the moment, a super early bird ticket price. So that's going to be really attractive to you. So who have we got coming in Manchester? I've got my list here because I don't want to miss any of them. Well, we've got the fabulous Lawrence Vogel from Informed Management. Those of you will have, a lot of you will have seen Lawrence talking around the circuit, as it were. Great presenter. You're going to have Lawrence Vogel. We've got the superb Rona Graham on VAT, my favourite subject. If anyone can explain it, she's one of those who can. Rona Graham, don't miss her. We got Matt White from iWalker. Again, a young man who's making a name for himself, going around making presentations, and he's got a good style, and I think you're going to really like him. We've got John Bone from Accountancy Manager. multi-award winning piece of software. A young guy going places big time. You're not going to want to miss him. I'm telling you that. We got the superb one of my old friend, Mr. Rudy Jensen. He'll be there talking to you. I'm sure many of you know who Rudy Jensen is. We've also got Kevin Whitehouse. Kevin Whitehouse is coming. Whether he'll bring his dog with him is another issue, but Kevin's going to come. I know you're going to like Kevin. He's one of us. He's a small practitioner, and you won't want to miss him. And the final two that we added very recently, Sam O'Connor from our Fabulous Gold sponsors, Coconut. Sam's the CEO there. He was in last year, presented last year, and went down really well. And you won't want to miss his presentation. And last but not least, one of my favourite ladies, Zoe Lacey Cooper. She is the driving force of Accountex. She's the lady that, if you're at Accountex and you see this lady walking around usually in a blue jacket, you'll see her walking around with hordes of people following her, right? That's Zoe Lacey Cooper. I go up there and say well done, because she does do a great job on Accountex, and I've got her to see what it's like on the other side. She's going to come and present to us. So that's a superb lineup in Manchester. Super early bird tickets are available. Go on the website, practiceevolution.co.uk, and hopefully, oh, by the way, I'll be presenting as well. So come along and say hi to us all.